Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Rose to Row and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and today is Friday, November 22, 2024. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me. Thank you for checking in on your regular current astrology. As you know, as above, so below. So if we can get a hint or a clue as to what kind of universal energies are at play that might be dropping opportunities or obstacles or surprises in our path, then that's all the more information that we have to navigate our own lives, hopefully in as smooth and successful a way as possible. I don't know about you, but I'll take all of the information I can get. And I'm so happy that you're here with me on that journey. Wherever you are in the world, I really hope that you're feeling happy and well and loved and blessed and whole and supported. I can say the same for myself here in beautiful Lee's Summit, Missouri. It is a sunny but very cold morning out there. I've got the windows shut and the heater on. So welcome to wintertime, friends. we're getting there. The sun moved on into Sagittarius yesterday. The moon is going to be a waning half moon in Virgo today. But before I get into all that, please like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It all helps me out a lot. And if you want to, you can leave a comment down below, say hello to me so I can say hello back to you, okay? All right, so sun in Sagittarius just moved on into Sagittarius yesterday. So where before the sun was in Scorpio, sun in Scorpio is a turning within and reflecting kind of vibration. And because it's the sun, it's about our sense of purpose in the world. It's about how we are enacting our purpose, our sense of purpose in the world. So when the sun is in Scorpio, we sort of turn within, we reflect on ourselves and whether the self that we are bringing to the rest of the world, showing up in our work, social, and civic lives with, is a true and honest and authentic expression of who we are on the inside. Okay, we don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. We want everybody to know, sort of the peace and equanimity that we like to see around us. And it's a good time it's a good time when the sun is in Scorpio to be reflecting on that and to be thinking about our strategies for being as true to ourselves as possible in the work, social, and civic lives. And the sun moves on into Sagittarius, and when the sun moves on into Sagittarius, it's like we take that information that we gleaned, we've done that reflection, we've done that thinking about ourselves and how we show up, and we're going to take that information and we're going to go out into the world with it, right? We're going to go out and be with our actions, show the better version of ourselves that we want to give the world, that we want to share with the world. Sun in Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so it is very much about the bigger, better things that we want for ourselves and our collective. The sun in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is our mutable fire sign. So think fireworks. Think about lighting up the night. Think about giving inspiration where there is darkness or where it feels cold, bringing heat and light to the situation. As human beings, as we show up in our especially public facing lives, the work, social, and civic lives. Now, the moon right now, we are in the middle of a very long void, of course. It started at around 7 a.m. today, Central Standard Time, friends, and it will move on into Virgo around 5 p.m. So right now, the moon is technically in Leo, but it's not doing anything. It's not interacting with any of the other planets. So this is what we call the void of course. It is not a time to try to start anything new in your personal life. It's not a time to try to implement new ideas in your personal life while the moon is void of course today from about 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's more a time to stop and reflect, absorb, process what it is that the last few days or few weeks have brought you, right? It's a time to maybe dig into the work that you're already working on, do the things that you're already familiar with, but you definitely don't need to get started on anything new right now, because if you get started on something when the moon is void of course, then sometimes it just has to be redone, or the whole idea has to be scrapped and you have to do something else once the moon moves on into that next sign. So wait until 5 p.m. this evening if you're trying to implement any new strategies, especially in your home life. And then that moon is going to be a waning half moon in Virgo. This is the time when we switch gears from thinking about what no longer serves a purpose for us in our creative cycle, and actually move into taking action on pushing out stuff and things, thoughts, attitudes, and dispositions that no longer work for us, no longer ring true for us, no longer have a purpose in our creation of the things that, in our creation, in our creative life, and in our goals moving forward, especially for our personal lives. Okay, so with the moon in Virgo, that's a very practical vibe. It is very much getting rid of stuff or sorting out things that no longer, that you're not sure you any longer want to keep, and really making that determination, and then, gathering it up and putting it where it goes. Okay, Virgo is everything in its right place. So we know where to put it. We know where it is when we want to reach for it, right? Okay, and that's the sun and moon today. The background right now has a few oppositions in it. It has some sextiles and a trine as well. So we've got a kind of a mixed bag of tension and conflict, but also cooperative vibes and a lot of grace being allowed for things to move forward. So, understand that we're operating sort of in that zone between things being a little rough and difficult and things being, hopeful, optimistic, and our creativity flowing very well, our ability to imagine a better way of being for ourselves and our collective is very much with us right now. So when you feel aggravated, if you feel like, the world is against you, or you feel like, you don't know if you can handle yourself in the face of what's going on around you, it's okay to employ a little optimism, engage a little hope for the future, think about what it is that you hope for in terms of problem solving and healing. Think creatively about it, and hopefully there'll be a better path forward than just expressing aggravation or irritation. Okay, so that is the backdrop that we're dealing with, and today Venus is in a sextile with Saturn. And it's funny because Venus is the lower benefic and Saturn is the higher malefic. So Saturn just, represents boundaries and limitations and doing things the right way in terms of, materialistic things. There's a right way to build a wall or a house. There's a right way to lay down a foundation or put in a street, that kind of thing. These materialistic vibrations, there's a right way to set up your structures so that they can stand, right, the test of time. And then Venus is about what we like, love, and can't get enough of. So it can be a little bit like, this is how I'd like to be compensated. These are the rewards I would like to receive. This is what I'm trying to get into my life, right? And so they might seem to be a little bit at odds, because what I want, when it meets limitations, may not be very happy. But that sextile vibration in the middle there, it's very cooperative. It basically says, if you lean into this, if you take action, then positive things will come from it. So, today this feels like, Venus sextile Saturn. It's like the stability I'm craving is craving me back. Okay, the structure that I seek, the foundations that I seek in my life, those foundations are available to me. So if I just open my mouth, say the word, take the action that lets the universe or whoever the powers that be are know that I am ready for that stability to come in, that structure to come in, that reliable resources, that reliable way of living to come in, then positive things will come from that. Okay. All right. So that's today. And I just want to give you a highlight. Let's do a highlight moments of the coming month, because we just started in Sagittarius. I want to take you through the month of the sun in Sagittarius and just let you know what the big points are that we're going to hit. Okay. So today is Venus sextile Saturn. On Monday, the 25th, which is Monday coming up, we have Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius. It will be retrograde in Sagittarius for 3 weeks. We have 3 or 4 Mercury retrogrades a year. Don't panic, okay? It's going to be okay. But when Mercury is in retrograde, we just have to be a little more specific about our plans. We might have to go back and rewrite some of our plans. We might have to, double up on our communication, or, really make sure to get our point across It's not sufficient to say something one time. It's not sufficient to plan something one time. It's not sufficient to sign a contract without reading all the details, okay, when Mercury is retrograde. So Mercury goes retrograde on Monday the 25th, and we will talk about that when it comes up. And then on Saturday, the 30th of November, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. So Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, Sun in Sagittarius, new moon in Sagittarius coming up. Feel that adventurous spirit. Feel that desire to sort of like to get up and out and maybe show off a little bit, but that's not really what I'm thinking. It's more like have the adventure that you want to have. You know, do the inspiring and fun thing that you want to do. I got invited to some birthday celebrations next week, and I'm really excited to go be engaged in them. So that's Sagittarius. It's just you know, imagining something bigger and better for yourself, imagining something social. I really think of Sagittarius as a very social vibration. It's also a very honest and clear vibration. Okay, it doesn't mince words very much. So Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, not mincing words. Maybe we might have to like take back some things that we said and say them the way we meant them, right? Or we can say, no, I said what I meant, right? I said what I said, take it or leave it. That can be a very Sagittarius vibe as well. Then coming up on Friday, about a week later, Friday the 6th of December, Mars is going to go retrograde in Leo. And there's a bigger Mars retrograde season ahead of us that doesn't really wind up until next May. I think Mars will be retrograde until February. So it's a big one. And it's going to be retrograde in Leo for a little while, and then it's going to back up into Cancer, and it's going to be retrograde in Cancer for a longer time before it goes on forward again. So we're going to talk about that. We'll do a whole episode about the Mars retrograde that's coming up starting December 6th. But I will say we are in the shadow of Mars retrograde now. So we really got to think about our actions. Okay. We really got to think about, especially Mars and Leo, you know, the way that we're showing up, the way people view us as a result of our actions. Also on Friday the 6th, Venus is going to move on into Aquarius. And then the next day, on Saturday, December 7th, Neptune is going to go direct in Pisces. So a lot of stuff happening that weekend, not this coming weekend, but the next one, two weekends out from now, I think. Anyway, lots of stuff happening the weekend of the 6th and the 7th. So, you know, my guidance when there's a lot of stuff going on like that, especially when we've got, you know, things going retrograde, things moving on into different signs, that kind of stuff. We really want to like take it easy on ourselves, you know, minimize the plans. Don't go big necessarily with your plans, or at least stick with the plans that you have and don't try to add a whole bunch of stuff in, because there's already a lot going on and there's already this, you know, potential for surprises and other things to come up, things to change. And then on Sunday, the 15th of December, Mercury is going to go direct. So like I said, it's just 3 weeks. Mercury will be retrograde in Sagittarius from Monday, November 25th until Sunday, December 15th. And then also that day is the full moon in Gemini. And we'll talk about that when we get there. And then on Friday, the 20th, the sun moves on into Capricorn. So those are the highlights coming up of this month. There's other stuff going on as well. And of course, I will be here with you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to talk about it. But I just wanted to give you sort of a month ahead heads up on that. And I think that is all I have to say. Remember that today, Venus and Saturn, what you seek is seeking you. Remember that today we have this void of course until about 5 p.m. my time, where it's not a good time to try to start anything new or, you know, begin any sort of program, especially for your private life or your creative life, until after 5 p.m. tonight when the moon moves on into Virgo. Okay. It's a good time to sort of stick with the plan. Do your reflecting, look at your tarot cards, do your journaling or your drawing, whatever you do to help you get into that space of mind where you can sort of process the things that you've been through lately, the things that you've observed lately, so that when we get into that next lunation, which is the half moon in Virgo, we are ready to get particular and sort things out. Okay. I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next video on Monday. See you then.